combating nutrition disinformation and general bull. It's Jimmy Rants. JimmyRants.com.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another Instagram Live, and we're here with another episode of Jimmy Rants. And if you're brand new to the show, where you been, number one? But we do this show on a daily basis, couple times a day. It's called Jimmy Rants, so go to JimmyRants.com. You'll see how it all works. We start off on Instagram Live, and all of the wonderful people that engage in the content there. LIVINLOWCARBMAN, Living Low Carb Man is my username there. You can come in just like T Tucker1 US and J Hinkle 86 and so many others that are joining us right now live. And if you missed the live, you can watch the replay on Instagram for up to 24 hours. So go follow me on Instagram. But if you're not the Instagram-y type, and I get it, not everybody is, go follow me on YouTube. We put all these videos on YouTube. You can go back and watch past episodes. Just do a Jimmy Rants keyword search, and you'll find them. And then finally, we have a Jimmy Rants podcast, which has the best of the best moments from this here show. Again, you guys, all housed at JimmyRants.com. Today's Jimmy Rants is about taking the plunge into keto and what it took. So a lot of you guys that watch me on a daily basis, you're already well into the ketogenic lifestyle. And at some point, something broke in you in a good way. Others of you, things broke, but we don't want to talk about that on this Jimmy Rants. But it broke in you to say, you know what, enough is enough. I don't want to live like this anymore. I'm so tired of the low-fat lie that has failed me time and time again. And I want to choose something that's actually going to work this time. So rather than hearing Jimmy Moore blab today, I have a very special guest. Yes, she's in the car with me. I promise you. Her name is Beverly Vincent, and she is my sister. Hello, Beverly.
Hey.
So right at about, what was it, 2 years ago? You started keto?
It was right about this time, actually.
Yeah, so we were on a cruise together with me and Christine and Beverly and my mom. We were all on a cruise together, and Mama was like, I want to try this keto thing. And so I was like, finally. Because I'd been writing books for many years at that point about ketosis, and she had Keto Clarity, and so did you. Yes. And you had not chosen up until that point to do keto. Now, you'd done low carb in the past, and you'd dibble-dabbled. All of us in our family have dibble-dabbled in every diet known to mankind. Every freaking diet. So what was it that, as I was saying at the beginning, broke inside of your head or your heart or whatever that got you to choose keto to begin with?
Well, right before that cruise, I had some blood work done and seen my doctor, and she basically chewed me up one side and down the other.
What was bad?
My sugars were
blood sugar
high, and she said that you're pre-diabetic. If you don't get a hold of this right now, in 10 years you will be full-on diabetic with insulin shots. And
right.
Of course, she suggested Weight Watchers.
Of course.
And other such
Nutrisystem, Weight Watchers.
Other such ideas, which of course I've tried them all.
Yeah.
So,
what's the weirdest diet you ever went on?
Actually, it's that cabbage soup diet.
She did the cabbage soup diet.
With the hot dogs and the ice cream. Because I thought, oh, it's got ice cream. It can't be that bad,
Cabbage
right?
soup with hot dogs and ice cream.
Those are a couple of the many weird
It sounds
things.
so yummy.
But yeah, the skinny soup, the Dolly Parton diet, if some of y'all might know it as.
Yes.
But
will you look like Dolly Parton when it's over? Is that what they were trying to say?
No. Maybe you have a waist like that. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So, but it was my numbers that really made me think about it, and then Mom having the bad inflammation. And
right. I've told them about the myasthenia gravis before that she deals with, and having to take high dose steroids, and so yeah.
Yep. So it was a thing that Jimmy kind of educated us on the cruise and taught us how we could do this for real, like day to day. And of course, I read
Keto Clarity and
all sorts of information to try and get ready for it. And then right after Christmas, because that was at a Christmas cruise, right after Christmas we started, Mom and I. And
January 2nd, I remember, because the first was the holiday. So it was January 2nd that you guys started.
And I wrote down everything. I wrote every little thing that I put in my mouth.
Yeah.
And how I was feeling, and you know, anyway, so I just wanted to have a log of my journey.
Sure.
And it took a while, as most of you would probably agree.
Sure.
It takes a while for you to become not so carb addicted, and and being okay with
Yeah.
the change. So
Let's go back a bit though, and that's great. And you've had a few bumps along the way, as everybody does. So it's no big deal. But it's still your ketogenic journey, and you're still eating. And of course, she's here visiting us, so I'm feeding her really well.
Yeah.
With lots of recipes. But let's talk about that initialness again, because taking the plunge into keto ain't no small feat, because most of us grew up, and you and I grew up in a household. Mama was the low-fat
Convenience
queen.
food.
She had fat-free ice cream and cottage cheese and rice cakes. Our brother Kevin and us, we always like spread peanut butter on those rice cakes to see if they
Yeah.
tasted good.
Didn't help.
Nope. But we grew up in that society, and so we've had it almost for our entire lives ingrained that low fat is the way to health. So how did you wrap your head around a low carb, high fat diet? Talk about that psychologically, I guess, how you wrapped your head around that, or are you still dealing with that?
I do still deal with that on occasion. Honestly, it was talking to you. I mean, I kept having to go back and say, "Are you sure?
Are you sure butter's not gonna hurt me?"
And reading and then in the application of it, I started seeing, okay, yeah, I am satisfied. I don't have these cravings for
Yes.
what I used to want.
Lean in a little bit. They're getting
Sorry.
half your face. There we go.
And talking about you know, no hunger issues. I felt great. It was more about how I felt, and that's what really sold me, I think.
Well, and I think when Mama started this, same thing. She felt so good. Now, yes, she lost weight, and so did you. You lost weight as well. We'll talk about that. But when Mama started, the biggest thing was she was able to like sleep in her own bed again, and she was able to move around and not have the joint pain and all the stuff she was dealing with the effects of the myasthenia gravis. And so that's what I tried to get Mama to focus on, and she's kind of in the midst of a turmoil, I suppose is the way to put it, in her keto journey.
Yes.
So I guess taking the plunge takes a lot of head work. Is that what I'm hearing you say? That, and it's continued head work, that, okay, I'm eating this way and I'm getting benefit, but even in the back of your mind, you're still going, I wonder if that butter and coconut oil is going to clog my arteries and give me heart disease. Is that the fear?
I don't really. I mean, I guess in a small sense, maybe I think about that, and I wonder. Okay, but my numbers come back. I'm looking good.
Yeah.
With all my cholesterol, my sugar. Yeah, I had improvements in all of those areas, and my doctor even said, hey, what is this? And so I gave her one of your books.
Cool.
And but the way of eating, it did take a little bit of convincing to know, okay, am I doing this right? Am I incorporating enough fat? Am I not overdoing the protein? Things like that. So I still question that about myself. And I tend to hold back, I think, on the fat just out of being trained that way, like you said.
Well, yeah, and it's multiplicity of reasons why we do that with the fat. We're fearful of the heart health implications, but we're also fearful of over-consuming calories.
Yep.
So you have all these things that become a part of the dieting mentality that you kind of go, okay, what am I supposed to do? Because I still have all this stuff in my head. And again, we watched Mama do that year after year after year. She'd lose and gain and lose and gain, and it's like, okay, I guess that's just the way it is. You go on a diet, you suffer, you starve yourself, you feel bad, you lose a lot of weight, oh, look at me, and then gain it all back. It just, it became this cycle that you and I now in our 40s are having to deal with the ramifications of, although she looks like 24, right?
Oh,
so
thank you.
she's 24. See, I'm a good brother. So taking that plunge into keto, it's difficult in as much as you're just still trying to wrap your head around it. Now, communicating it to other people to help them take the plunge. What are the challenges there that you run into? You said your doctor was very receptive of, oh, what's this magic you did with your numbers? Have you talked to coworkers? She's a public school teacher, so have you talked to coworkers and other people about this, and what's their reaction about taking the plunge?
They're actually, lately, people have heard of keto, and so it's a lot easier. But at the beginning, they were like, what? Because they said, well, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm eating bacon and eggs and butter and yummy stuff. And I'm never hungry, and I feel great. And so at first it was a little bit, they were like, unsure. It doesn't hurt that I have resources to be able to point them to. So yeah, I've actually had several coworkers that have joined along, and they've read your books, and I've given them like little recipes to work with, and she's the one that's popping in my head right now has had great success, and in her journey, just saw her the other day, and
nice.
And then currently I have someone, I think I told you that, that is interested, so I'm going to be giving her more direction.
If only she had access to books or something. So we're going to hook you up before you leave.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, most people that I talk to about it have heard the word keto, at least. They know it's out there.
Which is so amazing to me, because I wrote the first book about keto 5 years ago. And yeah, I remember you guys looking at me kind of cross-eyed. What's this keto thing? What is this? And it's keto. It's still kind of that low-carb thing I've been doing for years. And yeah, but it's cool to see it out there in the mainstream. It makes
really
it easier
is.
now for people to take the plunge.
Well, and when in brass tacks, if they don't understand, well, what are you doing? I say, well, it's, and maybe you gave me this analogy, I don't know, but I say if you have an engine that runs on gasoline or electricity, you give it, our bodies are like that, where we usually run on glucose because that's how our society runs. But you are opting to not use the glucose. You're using the ketones instead. You're just using a different source of energy.
Do you want a Prius or a Lamborghini?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So,
well,
anyway.
that's amazing. Well, so you took the plunge into keto. You're seeing results. You mentioned you were pre-diabetic. Did they mention what your A1C was before and what it is now? No?
I don't recall.
Okay.
I know it was...
Pre-diabetic would have been something like
5.8,
5.8, 6, 6.2.
Yeah.
That's pre-diabetic. I think they
6.
diagnose you as diabetic at 6.5. So pre-diabetic, depends on the severity of it, anywhere from 5.5 to 6.5. And then at 6.5, you're type 2 diabetic. And then an A1C, once you go keto, getting you back to normal is anything under 5.5. And yeah, so that's good. Yeah, Christine's was 5.1, her A1C the last time we checked. Mine was 4.9.
Whoa.
And
Nice.
woo. And so yeah, I'm sure you're within that range. If the doctor was like, what in sweet Jesus are you doing? So that's awesome. Well, let's see what my Instagram livers have to say. Welcome in, you guys. Thanks for being here. Hello, Lindy. Hello, BB. Thanks for being here. Hello, Keto Healing Coach. Thank you for being here. I did the cabbage soup diet too, says Keto Me Bex. Yeah, I never did that one.
Yeah,
I love
Mama.
Mama used to make sauerkraut and weenies, so that's about as close to cabbage soup as I ever got. Hello, Karen. Hello, Tamara. Hello, Ashton. Did the peanut butter on rice cake. You did the peanut butter on rice cake too, Ashton says. That's funny. I never thought I could do keto, and now I'm 50 pounds down. By the way, how much have you lost?
Well,
the net?
The net is about 50.
50 pounds,
Yeah.
so it's big.
Yeah.
I could never go back to a high-carb diet again, says BB. Yeah. Yeah, once you get a taste of it. And even beyond the weight loss, and I focus on this a lot in my work, it's all the health benefits. The energy, I will run circles around people with my energy. And brain health. When I'm doing podcasts and I have to think on the fly,
Oh, yeah.
I need good brain health. Yeah, I still have a little bit of weight on the body. It's all good. But all those other benefits is what I do it for. Keto Healing Coach, that's what amazed me about going keto. I'm not starving or cravings or feeling deprived. We'll never go back. 42 pounds down. See, I told you we had some rock stars on this Instagram. In 20 weeks, down 42 pounds. That's amazing. Good job. Alberto says the media repeats so much that fat including the good ones like butter and coconut oil and avocados, will mess with your arteries that many people doubt, even if they have good blood lab markers. That's the danger of the mass media power. And I've seen that where people will say, oh, but my LDL went up. And I'm like, what happened to your triglycerides? Oh, they're way down, 300 to now like 50. Or what happened to your HDL? Oh, it's way up. It's like 90. And it used to be 10. And I'm going, those aren't jump change numbers. Have you seen any changes in your cholesterol markers like that?
I have, but I don't recall the numbers.
We're going to train her to take a look at those and report to her brother.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us, this is my sister Beverly.
Hi.
We have no family resemblance. We both
look like our mother.
We both look like Mama with the smile and everything. Yeah, it's funny. Karen Shriver 50 says it helped when I retired and didn't have to deal with all the potluck dinners. Yes.
True story.
Yeah, and if you live in the South,
everything is
in the
food.
Southern Baptist churches, we always had a potluck dinner on the 5th Sunday after church, and yeah, that was a crappy garbage mess. Always remember those 5th Sunday dinners?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Thanks for your inspiring story, says Jess Hart.
Thank you.
Ashton said, my A1C went from 8.1 to 6.1.
All right.
And it's getting better, Ashton. You keep at it because you'll get it well below that 5.5 in no time.
Hey, music girl, I know you.
There's Christina Wiener. I'm going to wave at her. Hi, Christina Wiener. Merry Christmas, says Tracy. Tracy says, I'm down 107.8 pounds. But who's counting, right?
Wow.
So, but that's awesome.
Congrats.
The triple-digit club.
Yes.
All right. Guerin Tammy says, 1 week in and I've taken your advice. I start now. What are you waiting for?
Good.
You listen well, because that's almost verbatim what I would say. Tracy says, today marks 280 days. Again, who's counting? And the realization that I am insulin resistant. There is no turning back. No turning back. No turning back. So there's our girl.
Yay.
She's like, what are they doing? Come home.
She's away.
We'll be there soon, Christina Wiener. All right, guys. So the bottom line in this Jimmy Rants is, if you're taking the plunge into keto, what did it take? And I have a living, breathing. Are you breathing? Let me check.
I am.
Okay, yeah. Example of someone who was, both of us grew up in the low-fat era with Mama. And we believed that for so long. And now here we are realizing in our 40s that we got to do something.
Yep.
Because we see our mom and she's not in good shape. Your dad and my dad, two different dads, both are not doing very well in their late 60s, early 70s, mid 70s, I think, for your dad, right? Yep. And it's just one of those things that you see the inevitable unless you make a change now. And that's where taking the plunge into keto and why it's so important. If we don't do it for our health now, we're going to end up just like them down the road. All right, guys, that's it for this episode of Jimmy Rants. As always, go to jimmyrants.com. You'll see how this works. We start off on Instagram Live, so go follow me there at Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVIN LOWCARBMAN. And once you're there, you can engage live just like all these amazing people here today. You can watch it up to 24 hours on replay on Instagram. But if you're not the Instagram type, hop on over to YouTube. You can see all the past episodes of the Jimmy Rants show. So what you can do is just type in Jimmy Rants into a keyword search, and you'll be able to find the past episodes. And then finally, we have a Jimmy Rants podcast, because I'm a podcaster. That's what I do. But I have a producer that adds a little music bed and does some of the best moments of this here show. Again, you guys, go to jimmyrants.com for full details about all of this. Tracy says, I started living the ketogenic lifestyle, and because of inflammation, I've now gone full on carnivore. And I've talked about carnivore on these Jimmy Rants before and what I think about it. So go back and find that episode on YouTube. All right, guys, so until next time, and the pretty lady's gone, I'll see you then.